Jaiswal's gone! And the fall of the first wicket from Wankhede Stadium erupts at the arrival of India's favourite son, Cyrus Broacha. Just a fantasy, folks. Here at Century of Cricket podcast, I dream about things that hopefully will come true in my next karmic life cycle. In the meantime, let's talk about this. When IPL was introduced in 2008, it was instantly a mega hit. It had everything a good source of entertainment requires. There were cricketers participating from all over the world. It had Bollywood stars as team owners. I didn't have to choose between two most important things in my life anymore. But why did it take so long for the IPL to come into existence? What were the hiccups and how was it finally able to become one of the most profitable and popular sporting events in the world?
It's in the air. It's a six.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Century of Cricket podcast hosted by yours truly. And in today's episode, we will see how IPL's roots actually came back with the early 90s and how it all came to be. I will also use the bat as a mic for the first time. Oh, check. Before that, here's your weekly IDFC first fact. Did you know that Praveen Kumar or PK from Royal Challengers Bangalore bowled the first ever ball in the history of IPL? We have to start off by discussing the brains behind the league, Lalit Modi. He was known as the father of IPL. Back in 1993, Lalit started his first venture called Modi Entertainment Networks, MEN, in which he scored a 10-year joint venture with Walt Disney Pictures to broadcast some of Disney's content in India. Then the next year, MEN became the official distributor of ESPN in India for 10 years, and that is how he got involved in sports in the first place. Lalit pursued his higher education in the United States, so inspired by the domestic league model of sports in the US, he wanted to do something similar with cricket in India. He discussed the very first version of this model with the veteran ad man, the greatest ad personality the country has ever produced, the GOAT, Piyush Pandey. Also ex-cricketer Arun Lal and good friend of Piyush Pandey. And ex-Indian cricket team manager Amrit Mathur, who was a friend of mine. And all of them together worked on the first draft of a franchise cricket league model in 1995. The league would be city-based and would be privately owned teams and would feature Indian and foreign cricketers. They went and presented their plan to create India's first franchise cricket model to the BCCI in the mid-90s, but the BCCI was closed on Sunday and also didn't approve of it. On top of that, there was fear that many foreign players and Indian players who were playing internationally wouldn't want to participate in domestic tournaments, fearing burnout. So BCCI shot down the idea and moved on. And then they closed the main gate of the BCCI, in Mumbai at least, and said, don't come here. But Lalit didn't move on. He decided he had big plans for cricket in India, and he knew the potential India markets had for making the domestic league a huge commercial success if done correctly. Lalit realized that to make changes in the cricket system, he will have to become a part of the system. So using his political connections at that time, and he had plenty, he became the vice president of the Punjab Cricket Association in 2004. And in 2005, he along with Vasundhara Raje, ex-Rajasthan Chief Minister, got the Rajasthan Sports Act passed, which basically took away voting rights from 66 individual members, leaving only 32 district associations as voters. Because of this chain of events, Lalit ended up becoming the president of the RCA in 2005 in the BCCI presidential elections, who in return appointed Lalit as the vice president of the BCCI for life and one generation. Lalit, as the vice president of the BCCI for life and one generation, was heavily involved in the commercial side of the BCCI and even increased their revenue by sevenfold between 2005 and 2008. At the same point, a new revolution was taking place in the world of cricket with the introduction of T20. With the inaugural T20 World Cup happening in South Africa, Lalit and Piyush got the band back together and revisited the concept of the franchise league model and refined it to align with the popularity of T20 cricket. Do you know there was another T20 franchise league in India before IPL? So but I'm talking about the Indian Cricket League, ICL. ICL gained decent popularity among the masses, but it still lacked money and infrastructure. And then eventually called it quits in 2009, and IPL seems to be doing well, and ICL, well, not so well. With everything in place, on September 13, 2007, then Vice President Lalit Modi ji officially launched the league and named it the IPL, the Indian Premier League, Indian Premier League. Now talk about timing. Literally a day later, India defeated Pakistan in a bowl-out. I mean, that's a complete thriller to the last minute. A bowl-out in a league game of the T20 World Cup, which acted as a catalyst for the Indian fans to incline towards this new fast-paced format with action with every ball. Talk about good luck. My good luck is only limited to me sometimes finding $20 in my jeans pockets and then giving it away to someone who's knocking on my window at the traffic signal. And that's why I've decided to control my luck now by getting an IDFC First Bank savings account, which gives me 7% interest per annum on my savings account and credits the interest monthly into my account. Now, instead of finding money randomly in my jeans, I find money randomly credited into my bank account. Ole! But Lalit's luck only got better and better when India beat Pakistan again for its first T20 World Cup final victory and worked out as a great promotion for the new format, because we were world champions. After that, the sky was the limit for IPL, and that is exactly what happened on the 18th of April 2008. The league, which was originally conceptualized in 1995, currently is valued at around $10 billion. 29 years later, and soon will surpass other major sporting events. $10 billion. And that is the story of how an idea from the early 90s is taking over the sporting world today. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Century of Cricket podcast brought to you by IDFC First Bank, and I will see you next week.